What's going on, guys? It's your boy James here, Beards and Cars, back with another video. If you guys are new to my channel, thank you guys for subscribing. If you guys are just stopping by, consider hitting that subscribe button down below. Now, in this video, guys, what I want to talk about is probably one of the hardest things. It's been one of the hardest decisions I've had yet in my beard journey. So, if you guys have been in this situation, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. When I started growing a beard, there was no, there was never really no thought put into it about how long I was going to grow my beard, what style I was going to grow my beard, if I was going to rock a natural beard, or if I was going to, blow dry my beard like I do to keep it straighter. There wasn't a lot of thought into all those things. They just kind of fell into play. So I just kind of went with it as I went along. I went with everything that kind of everything that fell into play started falling just into where it needed to go. And then this is what I ended up with. So everything's good, and it went good the whole time. I had a couple spots here and there. You get your awkward stages. You have, bad beard days. You have beard envy on other people, things like that. But there was one thing I never really thought about that would bother me so much, like this has bothered me. And I've been thinking about this for probably the last, probably the last 6, 7, 8 months now, maybe even longer than that. I've been thinking and pondering this idea and trying to come up with a solution. And so, So the thing that's making it so hard is I never knew where it was going in the beginning. So now I don't know if I'm doing the right thing or if I'm going to make the right decision now. So, and what this thing is, guys, is I've been struggling so hard, and this is the absolute hardest thing I've had to think about since growing a beard. So, like I said, you think of all these other things out there and all the what ifs and everything else you could think of to do with your beard, you think about, but this was never a factor because I never really thought that this would come up. So, what it is I'm having a very hard time finding that beard length. When you start growing a beard, I feel it's important to have some kind of outlook on how long you're wanting to grow it or what style you're wanting to grow it. You should have something there that you should have some kind of goal set for yourself for what you want. I think that's important because when I first started, I had an idea about where I was going to grow a beard until I passed that point up. And then I was like, okay, well, now I don't know where I'm going with this. So, and my idea of beard, I think I hit probably around 8 months. I'd say around eight or 9 months, I hit right around my idea length of what I wanted my beard. Now, for some reason, I just passed it straight up. I never stopped. And it's weird because, I go back now and I look at my beard in that stage at, 7, 8, 9 months. And to me, that's exactly what I wanted my beard to look like. So it's, I go back now and I look at it and I'm like, okay, well, it looks, on a good beard day, it looks perfect. I'm like, man, that's perfect length. That's the perfect style. Everything about it is just like I would want my beard. So, but I didn't realize that then. I didn't realize it then. I just, at that point in time, I was like, okay, I'm just going to keep growing. I'm going to grow past this because at that time, it really wasn't, it wasn't that I wanted to stop then. I didn't really know where I was going. So, so I reached that 7, 8, 9 months, and it's kind of like I just kept looking at my beard and go, oh, I'm going to grow it longer. I never realized, well, hey, dude, you just passed up you just completely passed up where you was wanting to grow to. So, and it ain't that I wanted to grow to that point. It's just when I looked at it then, I liked it, but I didn't realize that I would grow it longer and then it would look good or maybe even better longer. So so at that point, you stop thinking about it and you keep growing it. And then it becomes it's become almost like an obsession. Like, I'll grow a little bit longer. I'll go a little bit longer. I'll style it this way. I'll style it that way. I'll add this products. I'll do this. I'll do that. See if it can grow healthier a little bit longer. And at this point to me now, I think back at it and I'm like, okay, so where does it end? I don't want to say never because, sometimes shit happens. So, but I was about to say I'll never cut it off. And I don't think I'll ever cut it off at all. But at some point in time, I feel like it's good to find a good beard length and stay with that. And so, a lot of you guys see people out there and they're trimming their beards might be longer like mine and they're trimming it down. And then you got some people in the comments, excuse my language, but talking shit because they decided to cut their beard down. So, and it sucks because, that's one of those things to where, referring back to what I'm talking about right now, where they probably didn't realize that they wanted to go that far and they kind of passed up that spot to where they wanted to grow. And then they just said to hell with it and cut it back down. Or the other solution is, maybe their job, maybe a loved one. It could be anything. But the last time I even took a little bit off my beard, the main reason was I felt like it started to look a little shitty. So I took something off of it at the time. And, when I went back and watched the video and I remember looking in the beginning of how just kind of, it just wasn't together. My beard just wasn't together. So then after the trim, I thought it looked pretty good. But I remember having somebody in the comments saying, okay, well, it looked better before the trim. And that may be the case. But the point is, that's not really what I was looking for. Before the trim wasn't what I was looking for. The after the trim is what I was actually looking for in that particular video. And I thought it looked a hell of a lot better after the trim. It looked a lot more tight, clean. And but after you trim it, it kind of got this little weird stage where it looks too straight on all the edges. And that part messed with me a little bit, but nonetheless, I still trim the beard, and I trimmed it. Every time I trim it on a video, it's usually for like a health trim. So I just do a small health trim and a little tighten, just to tighten it up a little bit. But I do notice after it's done that I think it looks better. It looks nice and tidier. And with all this being said, I'm rambling a lot. But the thing is I never really planned to get it that long. So when I did cut it back down, it looked good to me. But then at the same time, I was going, oh shit, what did I just do? Because my beard is way shorter. So, and the whole topic of this video is based off of what I'm talking about. The whole topic of this video is really not knowing where your beard length is. Finding that beard length that you like and keeping it there. So I've found a good beard length that I like, but I'm not 100% sure that I like it. And that's probably the length it's at now. So now that I've reached this length, what I think I'm going to start doing is actually trimming it to this length monthly, bi-monthly, whatever, and keeping it a night at this length. But I don't want to say at this length because when I do trim it, I'm probably going to take off probably that much. Probably that much right there, somewhere around there, and then that would be my actual length to maintain it. So what this video about is maintaining a beard length, and I feel like that's a really nice, it's a good subject, and it's a good thing to talk about because all these months I've way over surpassed the length that I wanted. Like I said, the length I actually wanted was probably more like right here. Like that. And I've surpassed that. and I had so much trouble finding that length. You know, what length do I want? What length am I going to stop at? And I would love to keep growing a beard longer, or whatever, and keep it going. But that's not what I wanted. So at some point in time, I'm going to trim my beard and keep it at that length. So I think about probably an inch off of this, maybe an inch and a half max off of this is probably where I want to keep it. So once you find your beard length, I feel like, you know, a good trim and keeping it at that length on a monthly, weekly, daily basis, however you want to trim it, keeping it at that length is nice and safe, because that's what I've been looking for this whole time, is trying to find a good beard length. And I believe that I've passed it up. You know, I don't feel like I should grow it anymore. It's just, you know, it's cool and everything, but man, it's massive, guys. You know, it really is. And it's more than I wanted. And it looks awesome. It really does. I could probably come there and just take the clippers and trim it up just a little bit and be just right. But I feel like I probably need to take about an inch off of it, and I'd be happy with it, because the reality is that the longer you get it, when you start getting your sides this long, okay? So all it does, man, if you've never had a beard this long, when you start getting your sides this long in the front, all it does, man, is every time that you turn your head, or you put a collar shirt on, or you put a hoodie on, whatever it is that you put on, every time you turn your head, it just bunches it up like this. And it just keeps doing that and keeps doing that until eventually you're upset with the way it looks, and all these are curled under and the front sticking out like this. So then you're doing this stuff right here and trying to pat it back down, and it makes it to where you're not comfortable with your own beard, because it's just so long. So like mine now, you know, if I sit down on the couch and I may be looking down at my phone or something like that, and from what you guys are seeing right now, you know, this beard may look perfect. It is perfect. It looks perfect. It's perfect. It's pretty much perfect to me. So I don't want to mislead you guys. It is perfect. But if I go sit down on the couch for a while, look at my phone, I go from this beard to this beard. Okay, and just looking down like that for so long, then when I get up, my beard actually stays kind of like that with that weird looking kink in it. It's not doing it very much now because I've only looked down for a second, but then I got this weird bow in it, and trying to maintain that all day long, guys, it's too much. If you've never done it, it's really a pain to me. And maybe your beard is longer than mine. Maybe your beard's the same length as mine, and it's not doing that. Maybe yours don't do it, but for me it does. And maybe if I grew this side out a little bit longer and got it down to here, maybe it would fold itself forward a little bit instead of pushing itself out like that, because that's what I end up with. I end up with this right here. I end up with that right there from looking around too much. So one side straight, and this side looks like that from hitting my hoodie, from hitting my shirt collar or whatever it is. I end up with that right there. Something that looks like that, and then I'm constantly doing this. So I think it's important to find that length that you want and maintain it. And that's it, you know. And there's some of you may beg to differ. Some people may argue. But I think it's important to find a length and keep it, you know. And I've found that. So this is gonna be my length somewhere between here and an inch up. Is going to probably be my length from here on out. And then if I pass that up at some point in time, I'll pass it up. But for right now, I think that's a good length for me, is right somewhere between here and a little bit shorter is where I'm going to keep it. So you guys will see me at this length and a little bit shorter, and that's it. So with that being said, guys, I just wanted to I know I rambled a lot, but see you guys in the next one.